Hey everyone, welcome to my new channel, Reality Report with Ryan. For those that already know me, welcome. For those of you that don't, what you can expect is political news, both the US and some abroad. You can also expect commentary on how the woke mind virus is destroying the mental health of a certain group of people. I think we all know what I'm talking about. I also react to crazy lefty TikToks sometimes, and I also react to interview on the street where people are interviewing crazy lefties and just going over the crazy things that they think about and say. So if you're not already, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and lose your mind with the rest of us. Hey everyone, unfortunately there's been a massive flood that has unalived many people in Texas. Totally unexpected. I mean, the flood was expected. It was warned about the day before it happened. And there's just no way to predict that a flood of this magnitude would be happening in Texas. This is tragic. This is absolutely horrible. I want to hear from Caroline Leavitt's press conference, and I also want to look at a hero that has saved over 100 people, which is insane. And I also want to talk about the backlash, the racism, the utter, like, complete ignorance and lack of even the motivation of the left to look up literally anything. For example, all over the internet, and I'm not going to show it because I'm sure y'all have already seen it. Let me know if you want to see it in the comments, but I'm sure you already have. You see people on the left talking about how they probably wish that they hadn't gotten rid of FEMA. They probably wish that they hadn't gotten rid of the weather broadcasting system. These people are the most ignorant idiots on the face of this fucking planet. The most ignorant people to exist has got to be far left Democrats. It has to be far left liberals in the EU and Canada and Australia. These people are so stupid and don't know literally anything that they actually believe that you sign a bill and then immediately an entire department, without any process, no moving things from here over to here to make sure we have plenty of coverage for natural disasters, they think automatically you sign the bill and then FEMA's gone. It's not. FEMA still exists, and it was sent immediately. Unlike how Joe Biden handled the floods in North Carolina. But these lefties want to get online, and I know I'm politicizing it now, but you have to respond to the backlash and correct these people so that anyone who will listen can get the correct information. And of course, it's not going to be these far left people because they break down and shake and have a mental they have a freaking aneurysm when confronted with any truth or questions whatsoever, because they are so hardline, so attached to the ideology of their religion, of the leftist ideology. It's a religion at this point. They worship it to the point that they completely break down, shaking and convulsing when confronted with any level of the truth whatsoever. So I want to get into that, and I want to talk about some of the tragedies that have occurred and some of the bravery of someone named Scott Ruskin and many others. This is just a really huge, this is unprecedented, in my opinion, bigger than anything I've ever seen, of him saving 195 people or something like that. But then I want to also show you some of the massively racist videos that people are making. Certain people, I'm sure you can guess, certain group of people, the usual suspects, are making on YouTube, just on YouTube and TikTok, just like they did with the massive flooding in North Carolina. Remember how they said that there was this spirit of ancestors that came from Africa to avenge the people that were brought here as slaves, who were sold by Africans to bring hurricanes here to unalive white people who may be the descendants of slave owners, which many of these people weren't, because there weren't many slave owners if you look at the whole of the population at that time. So let's take a look at this press briefing.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you all had a great weekend. I want to start by addressing the devastation from the tragic flash floods in Texas. Moments ago, the Department of Homeland Security provided an update that 91 innocent souls have now perished. Everyone here at the White House, including the President of the United States, is praying for the victims' families and friends during this unimaginable time. President Trump swiftly signed a major disaster declaration for Kerr County, Texas, to ensure our heroic first responders have every resource they need in the relief and recovery efforts. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem traveled to Texas over the weekend, and the entire Trump administration is working hand in glove with state and local officials to provide every assistance available. The situation on the ground remains dangerous, and there could be additional public safety threats with potential incoming heavy rain. So we encourage everyone in the area to remain vigilant, listen to all warnings, and respond accordingly. Unfortunately, in the wake of this once-in-a-generation natural disaster, we have seen many falsehoods pushed by Democrats such as Senator Chuck Schumer and some members of the media. Blaming President Trump for these floods is a depraved lie, and it serves no purpose during this time of national mourning. Here are the facts. In the lead up to this tragic natural disaster, the National Weather Service did its job. Despite unprecedented rainfall, the National Weather Service executed timely and precise forecasts and warnings. On July 3rd, the National Weather Service office in Austin, San Antonio, Texas, conducted forecast briefings for emergency management in the morning and issued a flood watch in the early afternoon. Flash flood warnings were also issued on the night of July 3rd and in the early morning of July 4th, giving preliminary lead times of more than 3 hours before flash flooding conditions occurred. In the National Weather Service office in New Braunfels, which delivers forecasts for Austin, San Antonio, and the surrounding areas, had extra staff on duty during the storms, despite claims of the contrary. So to any person who has deliberately lied about these facts surrounding this catastrophic event, you should be deeply ashamed. At this time, the administration's focus will be giving the victims and their communities the support they deserve during these recovery efforts in this tragic time. May God bless the great people of Texas, especially the parents who have lost their children. President Trump loves you. We are praying for you, and he will be traveling to see you later this week.
If I recall correctly, maybe I'm forgetting because it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure I recall many people wondering why it took so long for Joe Biden to respond to what happened in North Carolina due to the Hurricane Helen. I specifically recall many people making videos, posting online in direction, like including Biden and his administration on their posts, and wondering why is it that he had to be pressured to send these people out. And now, like I did a ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT all the time. Those of you that have been around with me for a long time, look, someone just texted me asking me, where's the new channel at? It's being made right now. Calm down. All right. It's happening right now. So I did a little ChatGPT search because I'm like, can someone please just tell me the truth? I know Carolyn Levitt is telling the truth right now, and I'm also not like heavily biased either. So I know that there's times that she can't really tell exactly what's happening due to the fact that she's working for the largest government in the world, and she can't disclose every single thing. However, I believe her in this instance. So I also looked it up though, because I always am curious about like learning my own information. So from July 4th to the 7th, 2025, an intense storm system bolstered by remnants of Tropical Storm Barry stalled over central Texas, triggering heavy rainfall, 5 to 11 inches in just a few hours. The Guadalupe River surged dramatically, rising 21 to 29 feet, 26 feet in about 45 minutes, resulting in catastrophic flash flooding. Nobody could have known that that was going to happen. All right. Not Donald Trump, not Caroline Levitt, not Kristi Noem. Nobody could have known that it was going to be that serious. So Thursday, July 3rd, NWS issued flood watches and alerts for Kerr County. Early morning, July 4th, flash flood emergencies declared. The river surged rapidly, surpassing previous records. People did not have time. There were campers and such that did not have time to flee the area before the flash flooding occurred because it occurred extremely quickly. And they were given information about the flash flooding expectancy the day before. Just nobody could have expected that it was going to be like this, because this is absolutely unprecedented. It says the storm struck while many were sleeping, worsening its impact. Why it was so deadly. Texas Hill County, also known as Flash Flood Alley. So these people are like, whenever you hear about Floridians and how I have family that lives in Florida, and whenever a hurricane comes, I'm texting them like, oh my God, what's happening? What's happening? And they're like, can you calm down? Like, we don't think about this way in Florida. So I can imagine that these people are used to flash flooding. They're used to what to expect. And this was completely unprecedented. Like I said, this was completely unexpected. So this was like nothing that they were expecting at all. They probably thought like, okay, we're cool. We're at this elevation. We're fine. It hasn't reached this elevation in hundreds of years. So even during the worst flooding of the past 50 years, it has never reached this level of flooding. So they're going off of memory. All right. At least the adults are. So Texas Hill Country, also known as Flash Flood Alley, features hard-packed, non-absorbent soil. So it's basically like clay soil and steep terrain conditions that accelerate runoff. The flooding was exceptionally fast and severe, too quickly for many campers and residents to safely evacuate. Now we have Camp Mystic. So we're going to see this in a following video of someone being very racist towards these little girls, these children, and people because they assume that they have white skin. Yeah. But we're the racist ones, right? We're the racist ones. So Camp Mystic, an all-girls summer camp, saw the river levels rise around 4 a.m. on July 4th. 27 campers and counselors died, with 11 children and 1 counselor still missing as of July 6th. That is very unfortunate. So make sure that we keep their family in our prayers and our thoughts. I know I will. Camp director Dick Eastland died heroically trying to save campers. There's a hero right there. Casualty numbers and scope. At least 95 people were killed, with 41 plus still missing statewide. The most severe impact occurred in Kerr County, with about 75 deaths, 27 of them children. Over 850 people were rescued by ground, air, and water teams. That's astonishing that the ground, air, and water teams were able to rescue that many people in such a short period of time. Unfortunately, there were so many that were lost because the flood was unprecedented and unexpected. Governor Greg Abbott declared a state of disaster. President Trump issued a federal disaster declaration and deployed FEMA, the Coast Guard, and the National Guard. contrary to the beliefs of the left and what they're posting all over the internet, that they don't believe. They're saying that FEMA doesn't exist. They're not recognizing the fact that the Coast Guard was called. They're saying this is the time to deploy the National Guard, not riots burning down cities across the United States and blue states. But no, they're completely ignoring all of the facts and just believing what their far left politicians are telling them. Officials face criticism for limited local warning systems. Kerr County had applied for funding multiple times without success. Now, this is reporting by The Guardian. You can see on ChatGPT, it tells you where this was reported. If you guys don't know The Guardian, it is a far left publication. They are one of the worst reporters who talk about all of these left-wing talking points all the time. They lie all the time. They cover up the truth all the time. They tell half-truths all the time. So you can tell when you're going down ChatGPT where this is coming from. So, of course, The Guardian is going to report that, even though it's not true, which we just discovered. You could do a 5-second ChatGPT search to find out that that's not true. So, let's see. Central Texas has experienced several deadly flash floods before, 1987, 1978. But this event stands out due to its extreme rainfall and rapid onset, making it one of the most lethal flash floods in the U.S. in recent decades. So, like I said, this was something that is not expected. Yeah, they were expecting floods. They weren't expecting floods of this magnitude. And thank God that the troops and the different departments were deployed immediately instead of waiting, so that they could at least have the chance to save as many people as they did. So I want to hear from one of these heroes right now.
Hey, yeah, good morning, everyone. So I'll kind of give you guys a quick synopsis of what was going on. The Coast Guard launched us and decided to send a rescue crew from Air Station Corpus Christi at about 6:30, 7 a.m. on Friday, the 4th of July. I just happened to be on the duty crew with Ian Hopper, Blair Rougefort, Seth Reeves, some of our crew members in the Coast Guard. And they sent us out. We kind of encountered some pretty serious weather, some of the worst flying we've ever dealt with personally. It took us, which should have been an hour flight, probably took us about 7 or 8 just to get into the landing zone. Once made about 4 different approaches trying to get in, we were able to get boots on the ground with the Air National Guard, Department of Public Safety for Texas, game wardens. And when we decided to leave me on scene at Camp Mystic, that was kind of our main triage site we were trying to help out with. And we decided, hey, if we leave the rescue swimmer on scene, we'll have more space in our Dolphin MH-65. So based on that, I got on scene, boots on the ground at Camp Mystic. Kind of discovered I was the only person there as far as like first responders go. So yeah, I had about 200 kids mostly, all scared, terrified, cold, having probably the worst day of their life, and I just kind of need to triage them, get them to a higher level of care. And get them off the flood zone with a lot of the US-60 Army helicopters.
Talk about how that works. You got 165, close to 200 kids there. How do you get them out? Just one by one?
Yeah, sir. It's a great question. So the United States Army National Guard was landing their 60s with Task Force 1, some of their rescue swimmers, and they were able to land. We kind of came up with 2 different landing zones. There was one off an archery field and then one at a soccer field. So yeah, we were able to kind of land those 60s in there. And then I was kind of the main guy as far as like grabbing people, usually like 15 to 10 kids at a time, maybe one adult with them, and bringing them over to those 60s and getting them to a different LZ that was kind of safe and had more first responders than just myself out there.
Had you ever done this before?
No, this is my first one. I haven't had any cases before. I've been a rescue swimmer for about a year, fully trained for about 6 months.
That's insane.
So yeah, this is my first experience, but I really just kind of relied on the training we get. Coast Guard rescue swimmers get some of the highest level training in the world. So really just kind of relied on that, and that, just knowing that any of the rescue swimmers in the Coast Guard would have done the exact same, if not better than me. So
training is one thing, but this was the real deal.
Very humble.
Yeah, this is definitely the real deal, but I just remembered that, when I got on scene, there was, 200 kids looking to someone for some sort of comfort and safety. They don't really know what my experience is or my rank or my age. They just know, hey, this guy's a professional and he's here to help us, and I kind of had to live up to that standard. But yeah, the real heroes, I think, were the kids on the ground. Like, those guys are heroic, and you know, they were dealing with some of the worst times of their lives, and they were staying strong, and that helped inspire me to kind of get in there and help them out.
Well, you sure stayed strong as well. Thank you for joining us this morning. Congratulations on a job well done.
Yeah.
You heard how humble this man is. Now, I actually saw, the first time I saw this was on Facebook, about Scott Ruskin, and it was a post thanking him for his heroic action in saving these 165 people, including many, many children, especially from this camp. And the first comment that I saw, it was the first comment because there were so many comments after, like in response to it. So just if you guys don't know, on social media, whenever you are commenting even negatively, you're actually helping the person gain traction. I don't know if that's what this person was trying to do, but the comment was, well, that's his job. That's his job. Why is he being called a hero? He just did what he signed up for. That's what was expected of him. And lo and behold, my immediate thought was that this is a far left idiot who has no respect for heroes like Scott Ruskin or the police or ICE or anyone of authority. And I was right. I went to their page and I saw a bunch of woke shit, a bunch of stuff that made me want to vomit. And so I realized, yeah, I'm right. This is what the left thinks whenever people who they deem as authoritative figures or a part of the military, a part of the people who are enforced to save us when we're in danger, regardless of our skin color or anything, they have no respect for these people. It was absolutely sickening. I think this man deserves a Medal of Honor. I think that anyone that has done what he has done deserves a Medal of Honor. And the fact that he has no experience in crises like this, and he was able to save 165 people within hours, is astonishing. He absolutely deserves a Medal of Honor. So I hope that he gets that. And I hope, falsely, blindly, hope that one day these extreme lefties will give credit where credit is due. So I want to talk about some of these highly racist people who think that God or some spiritual entity is coming after white people.
Well, since y'all got my live taken down, I guess I'll just chit-chat in a video. I mean, I don't understand all this, extraordinary hate or whatever. Like, I get that white people are not used to people telling them and calling them out on their racism and telling them about their double standards and how you wouldn't give them
really?
Like other children, and how there's children in ICE detention right now who y'all don't give to.
Oh, really? Because we don't hear it every fucking day. All over social media, all over TikTok, all over YouTube, everywhere. Because we don't hear about how racist we are from y'all who do make these racist ass videos towards white people, probably just to make money off of it, make money off of racism, because it's so easy, because so many of y'all and many on the left are so brainwashed, and all these white liberals have such strong white guilt and such a feeling of white supremacy that they feel like they have to be the saviors of the minorities with their white privilege and all of their God-given power because of their skin color. And y'all just eat this shit up. Disgusting. Let's hear more.
Give two fucks about. There's no prayers going up for them, but we're supposed to stop the world and stop everything we're doing to go and hunt for these little missing white girls.
Nobody specifically asked black people specifically to go help people. No, they just want good people, selfless people, people who are willing to actually do good by other people instead of talking shit on the internet with your fucking ignorant ass, fucking narcissistic bitch personality. No, nobody's asking you particularly to save anyone because we know that you don't care enough to save anyone. All you want to do is sit up here acting like you're superior, and white people are this hateful group of people that just inherently are born to hate other races, which is completely made up.
Again, I actually have empathy, so I can put myself in other people's shoes and understand that that's pretty fucked up. But it seems
so
like
much empathy.
y'all
Your video
get
actually
that.
got taken
Y'all
down
don't get that. Y'all
off
don't
of
have the
TikTok
empathy
for what?
gene,
Like,
for sure, it's very much lacking. And I mean, for y'all to just be on here, just straight up racism. Every comment, well, I wouldn't say every.
first of all, let me read you one of the comments actually from a black woman. I'm sorry, sis, but as a black woman, this was uncalled for. I love black women. I think we're amazing. But to love one another is to hold each other accountable. This was not cool, sis. No need to turn a tragedy into a race war. These poor kids have nothing to do with injustices in the world. Let's show some empathy and pray for these kids and their families. There are tons of comments before she turned them off because she can't handle all the backlash. She can't handle the truth. Tons of comments from black people in her comment section talking about how hateful she is. But she's talking about all these comments are from white people. Just like my black fatigue videos that I made on my old channel, it's the same damn thing. They don't understand the black fatigue movement was made probably by black people. The primary sources of footage, video from people about the black fatigue trend, I won't call it a movement, were black people. Talk about how they're sick of black people. And they're definitely sick of this bitch.
Every comment, I will say 99.9% of the comments have just been, you know, EBT this and welfare that and you're a monkey and yada yada yada. Like y'all haven't. It's been like 100 years. Y'all haven't come up with nothing new with other than the monkey shit.
Didn't see any of that.
Y'all don't have nothing new. Nothing new. And when
nobody said that to you,
when a black person isn't poor and when they don't fit your stereotype of, you know, EBT and whatnot, you're still going to use it and it's whack. Like it makes no sense because it doesn't apply, babes. It doesn't apply. And with groceries being so fucking high right now, I am positive most of y'all are either on it or you need it. So y'all can quit faking the funk. Y'all can quit faking the funk, babes. And since I have two grown boys who just graduated high school and they're about to go off to college or whatever.
You're raising children? So you obviously taught your children to be racist. Okay, we see where it's coming from.
Our refrigerator is like damn near empty. And it's like, thank God, it's almost like I got a raise because these two grown children were eating all of our fucking food out of a house and home, but whatever. But since I get EBT and y'all are paying for it, I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
No, you have 7,000 followers on TikTok. They're paying for it, which I highly doubt your refrigerator is almost empty, lady. This looks like a nice house that she's living in. Look at all that premium olive oil that she's got. She's got several different selections of oils. That shit ain't cheap. That shit ain't cheap. Do not tell me for 1 second that your refrigerator is empty, lady. You are probably making thousands a month off of this alone.
Yeah. I appreciate my little 15 minutes of fame. Thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all gave me a bunch of followers. Y'all spammed all of my other social medias except my Red Note. Go to Red Note. Give me some comments.
Go to the Communist Chinese Party's app that they created based off of Mao. Go to this extremely oppressive country's social media app that I joined. This is not surprising. These people are communists. They're communists.
Comments on fucking Red Note. I'd appreciate that. But yeah, tomorrow's another day. I'm gonna be back out here for sure.
We don't need to hear any more from that woman. I tried to find the video where she called the kids little "see you next Tuesdays," but apparently that one did get taken down, or she took it down. but I saw a bunch of comments about her calling these little girls at that camp little see you next Tuesdays. If that tells you anything about how extremely ridiculous this woman is. She also made future videos where she talked about going to church and how there's always white people outside of her church protesting her church because they support abortion. Newsflash, and y'all can disagree with me if you want. It's okay. I'm not going to give you any backlash or anything like that. You can disagree with me on abortion, but in my opinion, abortion is killing a living human being. And that's why they're protesting. It's not because you're black, even though that she likes to make it out to be, but she had the nerve to make another video talking about going to church on Sunday and talking crap toward white people, acting like if you protest their church because they're a super woke church, that you're a white supremacist. And if you support rescue missions, saving these people, and this is not just white people. I'm 100%. There are multiple different races in these locations. So it may be few far between. Who knows? I know damn sure these people don't know. But she is trying to make it out to seem like going and rescuing these people, if they may happen to be white, is white supremacist. And that if it was a town full of black people, we wouldn't be equally concerned, and Trump wouldn't have sent out the National Guard and other military and FEMA to save them, which is completely false. These people, I don't even know if these people believe what they're saying sometimes, because it really seems like they probably don't, but they know that they're going to get a bunch of rage bait and clicks from it. Like, all of these comments are telling these people that they're wrong. And they're trying to say that they have all of this support, but we know that they don't. I didn't leave any comments on these. Me playing these videos is enough. Like, I don't want to make these people any more money, bring any more. So, like, if you're thinking about going and watching these, you don't have to. You're welcome. You don't have to give them any more airtime. You're welcome. Here we go. Here we go. We got another one.
So, I hate to be the one who points it out, but it seems like it needs to get pointed out. So are we not paying attention to majority of the videos that's being shared about this flood and the certain that's on the videos? Hopefully this is opening up some eyes and showing people that he watches. I don't matter who's watching. They're watching. They see you as a person and what you're teaching your kids and how your children.
Y'all are teaching your kids to be racist. I don't know one single white person that has ever even remotely tried to teach their children to be racist. But I see all y'all's videos out here. I've seen videos of parents with their children telling them to go hit little white girls at the playpen, at the doctor's office. Like, y'all are out here teaching your kids how to be racist and then gaslighting white people because you are so brainwashed and so self-absorbed and so entitled that you believe this shit that you're saying when you have no evidence whatsoever that it is truth. And then I'm not even going to watch the rest of her video. We're not watching the rest of that. She referenced God. She's referencing God, saying that God is watching white people and punishing white people, not knowing that there are most likely black people. There could be literally a city full of black people, and there's like 5 white people that get saved in addition to all the black people, and they would still say that because most of the white people saving those white people are white, that it has to be about race. We only care about saving white people. We don't care about saving Mexican people. We don't care about saving black people because we're deportating mostly people with brown skin because that's most of the people that come over the border. Duh. You don't have a bunch of people from the EU coming here, migrating here. You don't have a bunch of people from Australia migrating here. No, you have people from South America primarily, and then people from the Middle East and India and China. etc. So, of course, most of the people that are being deported have brown skin, but they don't get that. They don't get that. So they're comparing all of these things together, saying that because we deport people with brown skin, that means that we're racist and we only want to save the white people. And God is watching and God is punishing. No, y'all are not Christians. These people are led by the devil. These people don't understand. No, you are led by the devil. The devil is in your soul and you need to rebuke him and you need to go have an exorcism because y'all are possessed as fuck. So there's something else that I want to bring up real quick as well. Marjorie Taylor Greene is actually introducing a bill which would tackle weather modification. So Christy in particular, I know you're going to subscribe today. Christy has brought up the fact of cloud seeding and weather modification. And while if you do a quick Google search, you'll see like a bunch of left-wing news articles saying that this doesn't exist. But if you go on ChatGPT, you can see that it does exist. And while it's stated that it is something that doesn't affect the health of human beings, she's also talking about chemtrails and stuff like that. But cloud seeding has been done for decades to increase precipitation. And one thing that comes to my mind is like, while we may not have proof at this point, do they do this to modify the weather and create a narrative, perhaps? Because it seems like the Democrats and the mainstream media follow with this narrative every single time that something like this happens. And I did read about cloud seeding being done in the hurricane to slow it down, Hurricane Helen. So I did hear about that. And then they had that major flooding unexpected in North Carolina. So one has to wonder, are we being lied to? So let's look at this. Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene has announced she is introducing a new bill which would tackle weather modification. Writing on X, the Republican politician said she was creating legislation that would make the injection, release, or dispersion of chemicals or substances into the atmosphere for the express purpose of altering weather, temperature, climate, or sunlight intensity a felony. Some conspiracy theorists claim that the government or secretive organizations are using commercial or military aircraft to release chemicals or metals into the atmosphere, visible in so-called chemtrails, the white lines aircraft leave behind in the sky. People have claimed not all aircraft leaves those white lines. Okay, let's just get that clear. Not all aircraft leaves those lines, so maybe there's reason for question. People have claimed these are used for a range of things from weather modification to mind control. Now, I will say I don't get into the conspiracy too far, but there are still questions in my head and I am waiting for proof. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the white lines observed behind aircraft are contrails, condensation trails that form when hot exhaust from jets meet cold air at high altitudes, the EPA states. Then why don't all planes at those altitudes leave those lines? Am I tripping? Someone tell me if I'm tripping, but it just doesn't seem. I've looked in the sky. I like to look at planes flying through the sky. I don't like to ride on them, but I like to look at them. In 2024, after Hurricane Helene killed at least 227 people, Greene made several conspiratorial comments and seemed to suggest that then Democrat-controlled U.S. government could control the weather. I did see reports, though, that there was cloud seeding taking place. The goal was to slow down the hurricane. All right, so I looked up. I did a ChatGPT. Cloud seeding is a weather modification technique where certain substances, commonly silver iodide, potassium iodide, or sometimes dry ice, are dispersed into clouds to encourage precipitation. The particles act as nuclei around which moisture can condense, potentially increasing rain, snow, or even hail under the right atmospheric conditions. It's not about creating clouds from nothing. It works by enhancing existing clouds to produce more precipitation than they might naturally. That is what I've read. And so in one article, you can see that it says that's not happening at all. But then you do a ChatGPT search and it says, yes, it is. It's like, what? Like, we can't help but to conspiratize things because we are being lied to. So to what extent are they using this? And is it possible that they're using it for political gain? Is it possible that they're using it to further an narrative? Like how all the Democrats immediately went on X and TV and started talking about how the National Weather System has been reduced in size while completely leaving out the fact that they had more people on staff and warned about the flood ahead of time the day before. Is it possible? Is that possible that they're talking about the lack of FEMA, even though FEMA still exists? Is it possible? Is it? I think so. So tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, share this video with friends and family, and I will see you on the next one.